The day has come. Today, I'm doing my top 10 Stephen King books. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my top 10 Stephen King books of all time. I do have to mention though that I have not completed reading all of them. And today I'm only doing his novels. I think I still have 22 more novels to read, but I'm halfway done. So I thought this was a perfect middle point for me to do my top 10. That way when I do my final top 10, I can look back and see how much my list has changed. But without further ado guys, let's get started. Alright guys, if you're new here, make sure you follow me at BaseMaza on Twitter, on Instagram, all those handles on the description down below. If you guys want to be part of our Stephen King book club, the Discord link is down below as well. But make sure you hit that like button if you enjoy what you're watching, subscribe for more content, and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. But
let's do this.
Alright guys, before we get started, I do want to mention that this is my top 10. These are my opinions. I don't think I can say that enough. But guys, as you guys all know, I'm a big Stephen King fan, and I thought it was about time I gave it to you guys. Because as you can see back there, I have all of his novels and short story collections. And this video is long overdue. So let's get started with number 10. Alright, so I'm going to start with number 10 and make my way up to number 1. Number 10 is Christine. So I just read this, I want to say 2 months ago for a Stephen King book club, guys. As I mentioned, the link for that is down below if you guys want to join us. And I really truly enjoyed it. Christine was a really good ride, you guys. It took me back to my high school years in a way, and I really enjoyed it too because this was my wife's first Stephen King book, and even she enjoyed it a lot. When she saw that this was number 10, she was kind of surprised. She was like, really that low? But then I started telling her the rest of the list and she was like, oh, okay, I see. So this one, you guys, is about a killer car that just goes on a rampage because she transforms a nerdy guy into a kind of a cool looking guy, and that was a pretty good transformation. And there's also other bad people within this book, you guys, and I found myself rooting for Christine, and I wanted to see the other bad people get taken out of the picture. Like, I didn't want her taken out of the picture. It was kind of weird. And I really like how Stephen King took the personification of making the car a girl, and I was like, oh, okay, I see. Because without meaning to do it, many guys do this, you guys. But yes, I don't want to ramble on too much. I'm gonna make it as fast as I can. But yes, number 10 is Christine. So at number 9, we have Needful Things. And that's the perfect title and the perfect cover for this story, you guys. I don't know what it's about towns with Stephen King, but when he writes about a town, especially a small town, I can really gravitate towards those stories. I don't know why. I really enjoy them. And in this one, you guys, you walk into a store that's owned by the devil himself. That's what I got out of the story. I don't know. A lot of people have their own ideas and stories, but I'm pretty sure it's the devil. And he basically sells to you what you're needing. Like, the item that you most desire is in this store. If that doesn't get your attention, I don't know what will. But yeah, at number 9, you have Needful Things. I actually have a review for this book, you guys. If you guys want to check that out, I'm going to leave the link somewhere up here, so go check it out. Alright guys, at number 8 we have Cujo. So I actually think this book is super dark. A lot of people might not think so, but I do, because I feel like there's a lot of symbolism within this book. Especially how the book starts and how the book finishes. And especially because it's talking about man's best friend, you guys. And even people's best friend, like sometimes dogs are a family, you guys. And for him to convert such a loving animal into a monster, I feel like that's pretty dark in itself. And yeah, you guys, this one's about a dog that just goes rabid and crazy, and a mom and her child is stuck in a car. Are they going to be able to get out? But yes, you guys, at number 8, we got Cujo. Alright guys, at number 7, we have Dr. Sleep. So, my sister gifted me this edition for my birthday, but I really want to get the hardcover edition. But I have a really strong emotional connection with this book, so I don't know, maybe I'll keep this one. But I really, truly, if I find the hardcover edition, maybe I'll pick it up. But yeah, you guys, this is like the sequel to The Shining, but this book holds one of my second favorite antagonists. My favorite antagonist, we'll get there when we get to his book. But my favorite second antagonist is Rose the Hat. I feel like Stephen King did a great job of describing her because I couldn't make up my mind. I wanted to hate her, but I also wanted to like I don't know, feel empathy towards her. So I feel like that's a great antagonist, you guys, because I feel like no one is born evil. Like, I feel like society kind of makes you evil, but Rose the Hat did a tremendous job of making me feel bad for her, but also kind of hate her at the same time. So within this book, you guys, we're gonna see Danny Torrance all grown up, and I truly enjoyed him a lot more when he's grown up than when he was little. And we also get to introduce to another small character who has the Shining, who is Abra, and I felt like we got to see a lot more, I don't know, powerful scenes of someone using the Shining. But yes, guys, number 7 is Dr. Sleep. Alright guys, we're at number 6, and this is when I started to struggle when I was making this list. I couldn't like figure out how to rearrange them or arrange them, because there was books that I was like, wait, but I like this one more, but it just got really hard. So let's just keep going. At number 6, we have The Institute. So I truly and utterly enjoy this cover, you guys. And also, I have a strong emotional connection with this book as well, because my wife gifted me this for my birthday after she had bought me a bunch of books already. But she surprised me and she told me she had pre-ordered it, and I was stoked. I don't know why Stephen King likes to write about kids having supernatural abilities or superpowers, but he never disappoints, so keep it coming, because I utterly and truly and tremendously enjoy it. Especially because the POVs from the kids, you guys, never feel like they're fake, or like you always feel like you're seeing it from a kid's perspective. Like the POVs are always really, really good. So in this one, there's an institute that takes kids because they have superpowers, and they do tests on them. And it gets really, really good towards all the way towards the end, you guys. You're invested in this book. This book actually brought a lot of constant readers back to reading Stephen King, because a lot of people say that this is the last book that he wrote that they utterly and tremendously enjoyed. Alright guys, it's getting really hard now. We're at number 5, and we have It. A lot of you might be surprised, but hear me out. When I judge a book, I don't just judge it by its like story or its plot or its characters. I also judge it by the journey that I had with it, like my experience reading this book. Like, it depends on the state of mind that I was in. Like, if I'm having a good journey, I'm gonna feel so good, and I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna remember like 2 years from now when I was reading it and I felt good reading a story. And if the journey is good, it's gonna help the book rating tremendously. But yeah, you guys, in this one, do I really even have to talk about it? I do have to say though that I read this after I had watched all of the movies, and I don't know if that took a little bit away from the experience. I felt like it doesn't, but at the same time, my personal opinion is that it does at the same time, just because you're not gonna be that surprised. It is a lot different than the movies, I have to say that. I feel like the book does a better job of seeing. You see everyone's perspective, and I feel like I always enjoy that. Like, if I can see everyone's POV in a story, I'm all in. Alright guys, at number 4, we have Pet Sematary. So, there's a character in this freaking book, and I mention this all the time, that Stephen King did such a great job of describing her. That description was so vivid that I still get goosebumps whenever I think about her. I feel like I just got goosebumps right now. And then the movie made it 10 times worse. Alright guys, so the reason why this book is so high up on the list is because it actually scared the bejesus out of me. Like, it was actually scary. And he actually said that he wasn't going to publish it because it was too macabre. And I feel like because he touched on a topic that is very scary, which is death. And also, grieving and losing someone really close to you is just freaking scary, in my opinion. So that is why Pet Sematary is number 4 on my list. Alright guys, before we get to the top 3, I do want to mention some honorable mentions, books that should be on this list, but there just wasn't room, and I felt bad for leaving them out, but here they are. We have Salem Slot, The Eyes of the Dragon, The Green Mile, Firestarter, and from the Dark Tower series, this is by far my favorite book so far, and that's Wizard and Glass. Alright guys, we made it to the top 3. So number 3, we have Misery. So I can't wait to reread this book, you guys. If anyone wants to reread it with me, let me know in the comment section below. I can't wait to dive into this book again. Where do I start? I feel like this book is well known, and this is like the perfect entry point to Stephen King in my opinion, but I'm going to be making a video about that too. I remember when I was reading this book, I felt so much anxiety, you guys, just because he was trapped in a room. So this is about an author, Paul Sheldon, who has a terrible car accident, and Annie Wilkes rescues him from a car wreck, heals him back to life, but he is a writer of her favorite series called Misery. And she totally and utterly hated the ending that she's gonna make him write the story all over again. And this story can get pretty gruesome, you guys. And like I said, him being trapped in that room and in that cabin made me have so much anxiety, and I started sweating when I was reading this book, because Stephen King does a great job of making you feel like you're Paul Sheldon, you're the one stuck in that house, and there's no way of escaping. So that is why Misery is number 3. Alright guys, number 2. Second place goes to The Stand. A lot of people have seen this edition in my channel, you guys, but I have so many copies of this book just because it's one of my favorite books. As you can see, it's my number 2 favorite book from Stephen King, and I have so many copies of this book. I'm actually rereading this book for my Stephen King book club. We have like 3 months to read this book, so if you guys, like I said, if you guys want to be part of that Stephen King book club, it's in the description down below. Do I really have to say why The Stand is so good? It has post-apocalyptic themes. It talks about evil and good. It has tremendous character work. Do I need to say more? One of my favorite characters from the whole Stephen King universe is in this book. And my boy Stephen King didn't hold his heart when he killed him off. One of my favorite characters in like the whole Stephen King universe was killed off in this book. Hello, darkness, my old friend. But this is not a sad video, you guys. But yeah, Stephen King doesn't care. Like, he'll kill off whoever he wants. And this is the biggest book that he has written, I think, up to date. It's like 1,152 pages. And it was my first Stephen King book that I read that got me into Stephen King. Thanks to this book. I have all of his books back there. But are you guys ready for my number 1 pick? My number 1 pick, you guys. Are you guys ready? If you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, you guys already know what my number 1 pick is. But for those of you that don't know, my favorite book of all time so far for Stephen King is Under the Dome. I don't even know where to start, you guys. I feel like this book deserves a review from me, and I should get it. I'm gonna reread it and put up that review hopefully soon. If you guys want to see that, let me know in the comment section below. But yes, you guys, even the cover art in this book is phenomenal. So you guys, as you can tell, a dome got placed on top of a town and they cannot get out. And that made me think of so many possibilities. But the reason why that dome got put there will surprise you. You guys want to know what I'm talking about? Pick it up. I'm pretty sure you guys will enjoy it. But I do want to mention again, guys, these are my opinions. This was my top 10. And this is my personal number 1 choice for Stephen King. Okay, you guys, so like I mentioned, I love a book that shows me all of the POVs, and The Stand couldn't do that just because it was the whole world and the whole US, and you really can't do that. But in here, you guys, it's just a small town, and I got to see what every character that was mentioned in this book, what they were thinking. And there's some really dark aspects touching this book, and he does a great job of always making me have strong feelings. When I was reading this book, I got sad, I got mad, I got happy, I laughed. Like, I felt every single emotion imaginable, guys, when I was reading this book. Like I mentioned before, I judge a book by the experience and my journey while I was reading it, and I always had a good time reading this book, you guys. I don't remember having like a moment where I was like, oh, I have to keep reading this book. Like, I always wanted to keep reading it, especially the last 400 pages. I finished them in one sit, you guys. I was in my bed late at night, and I did not stop reading it till 2 in the morning. And my wife was like, are you almost done? And I was like, yes. But I didn't even look at her, you guys. Like, I was just like immersed in my book. And this is one of the few books that has made me feel like I actually got transported into the town. I feel like I was one of those townspeople just walking around town looking at the mayhem that was going on. Alright guys, there you have it. Let me know in the comment section below what your top 10 is. Let me know if you guys would change my top 10 in any way, like a little bit or maybe completely or none at all. Alright guys, I really enjoyed making this video. I feel like it was way overdue. But I am going to put a list of all the books that I have left to read. I feel like I only have like 22 books left to read for Stephen King. 23 if we add Billy Summers. And that way, if you guys don't see one of your favorite books on my list, that's probably why. Maybe it hasn't been read, or there you have it. You'll be like, oh, he hasn't read it. Or he has read it and he just didn't like it. Alright guys, there you have it. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up, subscribe for more content, turn on your notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. And like I always say, stay golden, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace!